I feel like, you know, we're fat, Kayla. We're fat girls. We're fat girls.
We had the conversation earlier today.
At the house, you can say it. We have fat bodies.
Just say it. Yeah. Just say it. It's okay. It's cool.
It's cool.
Exactly.
It's okay to be bigger than a size 12.
It's fine.
And I feel like
there are people who are size 12 that are considered fat. It depends on how tall you are.
Depends on the body frame.
It ain't nothing but a chicken wing.
But literally.
So.
Alright.
Lemon pepper honey hot, thank you.
But my follow-up to that would be that, like, I feel like we as a group have all had our nice little journeys to self-acceptance as big girls, like, obviously, because society likes to
remind us that
we're fat. But yeah, like, do we want to, like, talk about it a little bit and kind of like
our journeys with fatness?
Yeah.
Or just being fat women?
Or just being fat women in general, and like,
or just what that means.
Yeah.
Baby, let me tell you something. Big belly or no big belly, I'm getting every nigga I want. So that's how I feel about that.
Fair. That's fair.
I get what I want. I do what I want.
Yeah. How do you feel about it, Grace?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie that there's not a lot of good things that I have grown into because I was forced to accept what I saw and who I was. Like, I come from a long line of sturdy women. Like a stiff wind blowing, we ain't going nowhere. From the white and the black side, it's just the thighs, the hips, like it was inevitable. Like, there was no getting away from that.
Right.
But,
Mama
like,
got booty.
Everybody got booty.
Ooh.
Everybody got booty. Everybody in my family got booty
too.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm just, like, there are good days, but there's also a lot of trauma connected. And a lot of that trauma stimulates from, like, childhood experiences.
Yes.
And, like, just me I don't know, it's just, like, the evolution of just, like, my acceptance, I guess. I guess just, like, this, like, who I am. Like...
Right.
Like, I don't know, I guess when I was a kid growing up, there wasn't a lot of visibility. Like, I remember, like, oh my gosh, low battery. Cool. That, like, Suki on Gilmore Girls being, like, one of the first, like, plus size, like, characters, like, main characters in a storyline. And then going now to, like, where you
who wasn't just funny. Like, she was funny.
Yes, but like, her personality wasn't around being fat.
Exactly. Or funny because she was fat.
Yes. Yeah. Like, she was actually, like, she had a lot. She had a life. She had romance with, you know.
Jackson.
Oh, Jackson.
Kids.
She had kids. And, like, nothing about her body was ever pointed out or, like, talked about. Like, she was just treated as a person.
Right.
Wow, like, revolutionary, like, thought here, like, woof, like, she's just a person. Awesome. And, like, no different than anybody else, you know, whatever. And then there was, like, I mean, now, like, you go into, like, I don't know, like, Euphoria, like, okay, and that whole... Cat. Like, that whole cat...
We can't do nothing but stand.
I aspire to be...
Just, like, the evolution of, like, the fat girl, right?
Like, when she was walking through that mall... talking about there is nothing more powerful than a fat girl who doesn't give a fuck. I was like, yes.
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
I will say this, though.
People are drawn to a confident fat girl. I mean, that's fine.
I will say, though, there's different levels and layers to fatness, right?
There is.
Because you can be a Tess Holiday fat and still get, like, national shoots and shit because you're also white, right? But if a bigger black girl was in that same position, it's a lot harder. Yeah. Because racism comes into fatness as well, you know? Like, I think, especially when I was younger, my relation to my body was just like, okay, like, this is just what I look like, you know? Like, this is me. However, there were multiple times where, like, people would make me feel like, oh, it's bad to be fat. It's bad to be the fat black girl in your friend group full of white women, you know? Like, it's, you stand out. Bitch, you right, I stand out.
Right.
What's up?
Yeah, like, I'm here, like, I'm
here,
and I am valid.
This body is real, it exists.
I think being, like, the only fat girl in general, though, is, like, that's just, like, a thing, like,
it's hard.
Because I've been a bigger person than all of my, like, friends in, like, elementary school and stuff like that since I was, like, since I can remember. Like, it's always just been there. Like, I've always looked different than all of my friends. All of my friends have always been skinny, normal size, like...
You are normal size.
Well, yeah, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, especially, like, growing up when you're, like, even in elementary school.
Especially in our
like
town.
that. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
even
small
in elementary
town.
school.
Definitely added to the trauma.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stigma around, like, what that perfect or what that preferred body type, that cookie cutter is what I like to reference as, because that cookie cutter was not for me, not anyone in my family.
Right.
But
like, my metabolism was never fast. You know what I mean? Like,
look, we all got ass in my family, ass and bellies and thighs, and it just is what the fuck it is.
I think it's hard too when you don't see a bunch of different kinds of fat bodies represented.
true.
Like, I feel like when you see, like, plus size models and, like, things like that, they always still have flat tummies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, not everyone.
Like, they have the hips and the boobs and the butt.
But where's the spare tire?
Right.
That's what I want to know.
You know what?
Where's the spare tire?
Don't even get me started on plus size models and like fat body models, because here's my problem. I'm a fat bitch who ain't got titties, okay?
Right.
I will say it. There is no cleavage here. This is just straight chest, okay?
Right.
I'm essentially an A-cup in a fat girl world. So when I see these clothes, these outfits, I'm like, yeah, that's cute as fuck. They don't fit me here.
Yeah.
They just don't fit here.
Mm-hmm.
What about the big bodies with the small titties?
Yeah.
Do we not matter? Do we not exist?
Right.
You do matter.
Thank you.
You matter to me.
Yes.
Thank you.
You and your
Because it's
teacup
hard.
titties.
It's really hard.
Right.
It's so hard, you guys.
I know. Again, like, if you don't have that hourglass shape, like, it's like, I can't imagine, like, when I look at like someone like Ashley Graham, I think, oh god, she looks just like me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But then again, I am taller. I do have that hourglass shape.
Listen,
But like the
being a short, fat girl,
representation.
Short, fat, and tall fat are not the same.
Yeah,
they're not.
Short, fat, and tall
Listen,
fat.
and you were
are not-
treated differently as
Because
well.
let me tell you, if I was a few
Adapt.
inches taller, if I was a good
Baby.
like 5'6", 5'7",
Say less.
you couldn't tell me anything.
Legs and booty, say
Like,
less.
You can't tell me nothing.
And tell me nothing.
But I feel like because I am like 5'3", like it just carries in different
Different parts.
areas.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't really think I will ever have a completely flat stomach. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just...
For your physical body
Yeah.
type, like, it's just not gonna happen.
And, like, I'm okay with that. But, like, also, I kind of wish there was, like, a lot of bitches modeling with a little fupa.
Come on, Fupa.
What's wrong
you
with
know?
the
Come
fupa?
on, Fupa.
Why are you afraid of the fupa?
Why you afraid of Fupa? Lift her. Love her.
Free the fupa.
Free
Like,
her.
you know.
Free her.
And my thing is, too,
Huh?
like, y'all know, well, Casey knows, like, I'm a very active person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in the gym at least 3 times a week.
Which I could not.
If
Oh, there's a lot of
not,
stigma
like-
that you're lazy.
Mhm.
Right.
And
You got
first
a
off,
body.
Kaylin has more energy and way more in the gym than both of us combined.
Right.
The shit he be having her doing, no.
So much running.
Nope.
Right.
I'm not lifting no
So
weights.
much running.
I'm a yell.
I don't know
and
how
leave.
she does it.
And, like, yeah, I get tired.
And to play soccer, like,
This is true.
Yeah.
you can keep
I mean, I
up
haven't
with the
played
best.
in a while, but... you
She
know.
said, but she could.
Just
I
having
haven't
to go real quick.
played in a while. My stamina is not where it needs to be to play a full game of soccer. But,
That's fine. Oh, pick up game don't hurt.
but
half
you
court,
know.
half court.
And that's the thing is, like, even though I work out, like, and also even going to work out, like, a lot of people who find out I work out assume that I'm doing it to, like, drop all of this weight and, like, be a size 9 or 8,
Oh,
you
wow.
know? And I'm like, no.
I don't
like,
think it's gonna physically ever be like if I'm ever like my body won't physically allow me.
I told
Right.
let me tell
Like
you
my
something.
physical bones.
like, the smallest I would
I
ever
wonder
want
if
to be
it
would be,
can.
like, maybe a size 12.
Yeah.
Like,
I told Kaylin
like,
that.
12,
Healthily.
14.
Healthily, you got to be healthy
Yeah.
because
Here's
it's a
my
dangerous
issue.
slope.
Here's always been my issue about being a bigger girl who loses a bunch of weight. And this is just my own personal opinion for my own body. I got a big ass head. I'm not gonna be a bald-headed bitch, and that's what's gonna happen. Okay, if I can anything than a 12, this head gonna be large and in charge. And
She said, "I got a big head, no titties. I'm just gonna
Thank you.
poop over."
We struggling. I am a struggle bus.
Jesus.
Okay,
You're just gonna poop.
I know my strengths.
But
And
yeah.
that ain't
Your
it.
center of gravity's gonna be
But,
way
like,
off.
I wish it was, like, so okay for, like, big girls. And I love that Lizzo, like, always shows her workouts and shit
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh,
she
yeah.
has like a very similar idea to like being healthy and being active that I do, in the fact of like I'm not trying to drastically change my body here. Like I've worked too hard to love this body to just
You're like, oh,
get rid of it.
We're over
Like, you know what I mean? Like I've worked too hard for that. Like I just want to be active and stay active and like
I've worked so hard on
live
changing
a
the
healthy
narrative
life.
in my mind.
Right,
You know? Like
exactly.
when you see your tiger stripes or your lightning stripes, whatever you want to
Yes.
call them, because they are beautiful.
They are.
All of them, and everybody's got them.
The
Whether
cellulites.
you are like the biggest or the smallest, the
Mhm.
curviest, or like, you ain't got no curves, that's okay too.
That's
Right.
all right.
We love to see it either way, and everything in
Itty bitty
between.
titty bitch, we love you too, girl.
That's true, and your teacup booties.
And your teacup, oh, we love a teacup.
Little
booty.
teacup booty.
We love a teacup booty.
You know, it's just like hearing those, like that, changing that narrative, like hearing someone like that 7th grade voice of that bully that said something
Yes.
to you about like how like
Or
I don't
how
know,
even
like
your mom who said something.
Ooh, that's the one.
Oh, not your
That's
mom.
the one. She triggered me. Wow.
Like
Sis.
honestly,
Wow.
like
She took it
honestly,
there.
out of all 3 of us, like we can all say that like
Our
moms,
mothers.
God
Mhm.
love all of them, but like they
Because somebody has to.
like they told us some very damaging stuff about our bodies when we were younger.
I wouldn't say that my mom told me damaging things. My mom
And they
just
all
happens
thick girls too.
to have her own body image issues.
All
Right.
of them.
Yeah.
My mom.
I think my mom does. Like my mom does too, in a way. Like I feel just like by the way that she talks about herself when she tries on clothes and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and I kind of like understand now that like she was probably even projecting a little bit on me when I was younger too.
My mom has always like admitted that she has body dysmorphia. Like that's
I could
part
see
of
that.
her. That's part of her like mental health.
And she's so
like,
beautiful.
she's my mom's. Everyone know I got a hot mom.
Just,
But see, also
Hot girl
my
mom.
mom was
Real hot
not,
girl
my mom
I've
was
got the
not
original.
always curvy.
Mm.
Like she was very skinny in high school. You know what I mean? Like she was not always curvy, so I
Same.
think too like when she got older and kind of like that metabolism stopped working a little
Mhm.
bit. Like
That ass
that's
got
when
plump.
she's
It
kind of
did,
started
though.
to have her because like it's different too when you're always big and you kind of just like go through your own journey to become okay with that
Mhm.
versus like if you were small.
So I feel like our moms are similar now.
Yeah, like if you were small growing up and then later on in life you
Oh, see,
feel
no,
like
my
you
mom-
became
Debbie was a
bigger.
4 until like 22.
Right.
my mom was never though. My mom has always been thick her entire life.
Yeah.
Like there's pictures of her like in like I see her like elementary school, but my mom was also almost 6 foot tall.
You got tall mom.
Right.
That's a tall lady.
She's
Yeah.
a tall. That's a power. That she's a
Brick
brick
house.
house.
Period.
That's also like one of her favorite songs.
This is about her.
It is.
Like the song "Brick House" was written for my mother.
That's it.
Yeah.
But like she's like it's just she has just always been thick, and then of course like I said, like I just come from a long line of sturdy women. Like
Yeah.
even like when I look at like pictures of like my grandmother when she was younger and
Come
stuff,
on,
like,
mama.
she's still
Right.
thick. Like even in like her hips and stuff, and my grandfather's like sisters, like they are even really thick too. Like
Right.
they're a lot of hip. They're like they're the white women's with the hips.
She said the white women's with the hips.
That's my grandfather's people. Like that's what they look like, and I'm like, oh, so it was just coming from all angles.
Right.
I was
Right.
just doomed.
I don't know. I feel like fatness as a whole has become so like trendy recently, and it's. I definitely will like say that's a TikTok thing that I've noticed too. Like there's this like subculture of TikTok of like people going, oh, I love fat women because blah 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 blah. But it's also like, did nobody ask you about that?
Yeah.
But you don't need a fetish.
Thank you.
anything.
Yes.
Like it doesn't need to be a fetish. Like you're a person.
Yes.
If I get another DM on my motherfucking Instagram from some man who's like, oh, I love BBW. Oh, I just want you to sit on me. Oh, da 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 da. Nigga, where is your home training?
Yeah.
That's not how you talk to people. That's not how
It's
you
not.
approach.
Also, unless you come in with cash, shut up.
Right.